might have been Wink or Sharon saying that he was surprised by Damon Payne's performance against New Mexico. Were you surprised by it, and how does someone surprise you given you've seen them in practice?
I don't. It wasn't a surprise to me. I think guys perform at different levels, right? Like in practice, you want to mimic their game as much as you can, and I think he's done that. The last week of practice, he was really on, played really well. I think he's done a great job of getting himself in shape. And it's funny we talked this week because we're playing obviously Oklahoma. They played him last year when he was at Alabama, and there's a couple clips of him on tape, and I said, man, you look different. And he goes, Coach, we run a lot more here. We work out differently. Like, I feel way better. So I think that was a big part of going into it. And first time playing home for him, a lot of emotion. He said it 4 or 5 times during the game. Like, there's really 110,000 people here, Coach. Like, we're playing in a home crowd for the first time in a while was big for him. So I thought there was a lot of factors that went into it. But he did a great job. He's worked his tail off to get to where he is right now. We just got to keep raising the level. We're going to do it all, our guys.
With the inside guys, how are you determining who's starting on a weekly basis?
I mean, the biggest thing, whoever practices better. It's a different deal than last year. Obviously, you had 2 great players, right? Some of the guys that were in the room here were here last year. The gap between 1 and 6 isn't as big. So guys that practice better, do things right, that fit the scheme of what we're going to do that week, game plan-wise, those will probably be the guys that roll out there first. But, I mean, you look at a guy like Eno. Eno took the second most snaps of the interior guys. So just because you don't roll out there the first snap, that doesn't mean you're not going to play the most. So we're going to go with the guys that are hot. We're going to go with the guys that are playing well. And we're going to go with the guys that are doing the things that we need in our scheme to be good.
Have you found the players accepting of that?
Oh, yeah. Competition breeds success. Iron sharpens iron. That's part of the reason why you come to Michigan. It's why you play in games like this, like 2 great blue blood programs that have foundations of great offensive lines, great defensive lines. They're going to compete against each other. That's why you come to a place like this.
On the left, Chris.
Who were the guys that graded out, the hot guys on Saturday?
Damon Payne graded out really good. The other guy that graded out well was Trey Pierce. Really good. And the guys all graded out well. Like, those were the 2 highest grades in the room. They did a great job. Trey Pierce is another one that's, if you look and change his body, he's done a great job understanding our scheme, and he's really starting to play free. Like, I think sometimes when guys are younger, they want to do everything the coach says. They become very robotic, right? Trey Pierce is not robotic anymore. Like, he's out there making plays. You see he's kind of becoming his own player, which is great to see. And we need all our guys to do that. And it's been really good within the framework of the defense that we're doing, which has been really, really good to see for those guys.
Talking about that framework, there's no Mason Graham, so Wink said he's going to play maybe more to the strength of the linebackers. What does that mean for your group, and what are their responsibilities?
I think the biggest thing for us, it doesn't really change. Like, we got to create knockback. You got to play with your hands. You got to do a good job with your feet and change the line of scrimmage and build that run wall. So for us, there's really not that much difference. And in our scheme, that's what we do. That's what we're asked to do. So it's been really good for us. Yeah.
Front left there, Ryan.
Like you said earlier, a blue blood matchup between 2 programs with typically historic good lines. What do you think you'll be able to glean from your group from this game going on the road?
I mean, the biggest thing is you're going to see an offensive line that's really good from Oklahoma competing against a defensive front that's really good from the University of Michigan. And I think the biggest thing that we have to do is we have to consistently talk about technique. Like, you talk all the time about when things go wrong, right? There's going to be a point in the game on Saturday where something happens that either we didn't plan for, it didn't work the way we thought it was going to work. What do? You fall back on your training, and your training is your technique, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to fall back on our training, and we got to keep hounding to our guys about technique, because there's going to be something that they do Saturday that they haven't shown that they did last week. They didn't show last week.
What was your reaction to New Mexico's trick play in the red zone there against you guys?
I mean, it was an interesting play, for sure. I mean, I didn't realize it until after you watch it. They planned to bounce it off the ground when they rolled it through the center, because I mean, it was interesting. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say any bad words, so I'll say interesting.
Over here on the right, Tony.
Yeah, you were talking about, I guess, so I could be wrong because you're talking about how the defensive line graded out well in your system.
Yeah.
But it felt like most of the time when you guys were getting pressure on the quarterback, it seemed like it came from the linebackers. I guess, were you pleased with how much the front was getting pressure in the pass?
Yeah, I mean, Cam Brandt had 4 or 5 hits. Nate Marshall had 3 or 4 hits. Trey Pierce had a hit on the first drive of the game. So again, I feel like for us, those guys are going to do a great job, and I feel like pressure comes from everybody doing the right thing, right? We don't put our guys in situations where you have to do this. Like, play within the framework. This call works for this. This call works for that, right? Run, pass. And I think that's what Wink does a great job of. He does an unbelievable job of playing packages and putting people in spots that they can do things really, really well.
On the left there, Zach.
How do you just prepare for a guy like John Mateer?
He's tough, man. He's good. He's really good. I think the biggest thing is it's got to be all hands on deck, all eyes on him. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, he's got to be a focal point of what we do every single play. And I think that when you do that and you have a group that understands that, good things happen. It's a lot like when we went and played Alabama with the quarterback that they had. It's going to be a group effort. One guy can't do it by himself. Like, I think, you talk about different schemes and people doing different stuff to stop them. You have to stop them within the framework. When you start inventing things, that's when you get in trouble. So we're going to stop them within the framework of what we do. I think that if everyone does their job, we'll be successful because there's not a defense that we run that's unsound. So it'll be exciting for us. He's a really, really good player. That's why he was the #1 transfer in the portal this year. And they've loaded up. They have the #1 transfer portal quarterback. They got the #1 transfer portal running back. They have great offensive linemen. They have good receivers. So it's going to be a good challenge for us.
In the back right there, Charles.
Yeah, you mentioned Nate Marshall having a few hits. What did you see from him, and how much do you expect to see him play on a week-to-week basis?
I mean, he is, from the day he got here, he didn't come in the spring. He came the beginning of the summer. So he's been really good. He's just getting his body right. And I think, Coach Fee's been doing a good job with him, getting him right in the playbook. I think the sky's the limit for him. He's just going to keep getting better and better and better, along with a lot of our young guys who did a great job this past Saturday. So we need more of it. They got to get better. The more good players you have, the better shot you are. The better shot you have of winning games. So that's what we're going to do.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Angelique.
Lou, does Mateer remind you of anybody? Any quarterback you face?
I mean, a little bit like the kid from Alabama. I think he throws it a little bit better than that guy. I don't know if he's flat out as fast. I mean, he's a typical, he's probably the shortstop of the high school, point guard of the high school, quarterback of the high school. He is just an unbelievable player. And you go back and you watch him, even when they had Cam Ward when he was at Washington State, I mean, he's coming in to run the football. So you watch him when he runs the ball, he's like a running back. He's not like a quarterback. Most quarterbacks, when they run the ball, run unique, and they don't like to get hit. He enjoys some of that contact. So it's our job to kind of help him with that.
TJ was saying last night that early in the game, he didn't even look at the iPads. They were looking at Bryce to watch him. Did you catch yourself kind of watching with this kid?
No, I tried to keep our guys from watching him, but everybody did, and you could see it. I've watched a ton of him. I've watched every single day from the minute that kid has been on here. He's made one throw where you're just like, did you just see that? So it was pretty cool. And again, he's one of the most humble football players I've ever met in my life. So I was excited to watch him go play, but I did not watch that first series.
On the left, Clayton.
TJ also said it was a little frustrating for the edge guys that they were screening you guys a lot of quick game, and he's more excited for this week. Do you sense that excitement from your guys? And also, how tough is it to prepare for an Oklahoma offensive line that kind of moved a bunch of guys around last year?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're super excited to go play Oklahoma, right? It's the next game. It's a big game because it's the next one. There's all the pageantry that goes with it. It's a blue blood program. The excitement about going to play Oklahoma, I mean, I think a lot of teams, you watch us last year, I've never been part of a defense that faced more screens than we did last year. And I think that's what you see when you have good fronts, when you have teams that do the things we do on defense. I think that's what you're going to see. So I think we'll see that all year. But what super excited about as far as the O-line goes, I mean, they have great players. Their offensive line is deep. They've gotten, every kid seems like a 5-star recruit. So for us in the breakdown phase, I mean, you listen, you watch, you see. They've rolled in 6, 7, 8 guys, and they're talking about playing 2 more. So it's a challenge for us. That's where I think when there's that unknown, you fall back on your training, right? Like you fall back on what you've done, and you play with good technique no matter who they put out there, and you play within the framework of the defense, and you run to the ball, and you play with our pillars, your effort, your angles, your block destruction, your communication, your ball disruptions. Like you do that stuff, it's going to put us in the best spot to win, and that's what we're going to try to do.
All right here, Aaron.
Sort of following up on that, given the pressure up front, how much, as a coaching staff, how much do you hold back week 1 knowing you got Oklahoma week 2?
We didn't hold anything back. Like for us, we went, for the more game reps you get at running your system, the better off you're going to be, no matter who you're playing. And again, like I've always said my whole entire career, it's like, 25 practice reps is like 1 game rep. So we're going to run what we run. Coach Wink is great at that. He was very, very clear with what our vision was. So we didn't hold anything back. What you saw is what you're going to get. And that's, not everybody does that. I get it. And Oklahoma might not have done that. And they're talking about different guys playing now, and they held some guys out. So we'll see. It'll be a great challenge for us.
Back left, Sam.
Yeah, sort of on that topic of different guys playing, Jaden Ott had sort of a restricted role last week, and then Blaylock got injured toward the end of the game. What running back are you preparing for? What stands out to you about the running backs?
All of them. I mean, they run hard. They were physical at the point of attack. I don't know if the run game was an emphasis for them the entire game last week. I think they were, they have really, really good running backs. And then the Ott kid, I mean, you just put the tape on from the year before. He's electric. That's why he was the #1 running back in the transfer portal. So you bring in the #1 quarterback in the transfer portal. You bring in the #1 running back in the transfer portal. Those guys are going to be point of emphasis guys for them. And we expect to see the best of those guys come Saturday.
Back left, Alejandro.
For Pernell McPhee's name mentioned a few times this week. As a recent player turned coach, what does he bring to the program?
Unbelievable energy. He has he's always got a good smile on his face. He's like a fire plug energy-wise. And then with the knowledge that he has from playing in the NFL so long, like when he can relay that to the guys, it really helps those guys out. And I think he's done a great job with those guys.
Good time for a few more. We'll start with Chris.
Who were the edges that graded out best for you, and what were your overall thoughts on the group?
Cam Brandt graded out the highest. I think those guys did a great job. They played hard. They were physical. They set the edge. They won a bunch of one-on-one pass rushes. They hit the quarterback a bunch. I think when the quarterback gets rid of the ball fast or they're running screens, sometimes it's hard to get to those guys. So we talk about affecting the quarterback. I mean, we hit the quarterback over 20 times, and I think that's what you want. You want that guy coming off the ground every play, right? Whether it's a sack, whether it's a quarterback hit, whether it's a hurry, you want him coming off the ground. And I think that's a good thing what those guys did a great job of the entire night, which was really good for us.
On the left, Ryan.
You mentioned Mateer's rushing ability, and I know Bryce didn't run it all on Saturday, but has he been in practice been able to challenge your guys' unit with his rushing ability, or does he have how much does he have that in his game?
He has, but it's like for us in practice, you don't go near the quarterback. So that's not really something they would do against us. Maybe they do it versus scouts and everything, but we haven't seen it. Bryce isn't he's not a big runner. Like he can throw it really, really good. Now, is he athletic? Yeah, he's athletic, but that's not the plan for those guys. They're gonna throw him because his arm is generational, and the way he throws it, that's what they're gonna do with him.
Last question, Angelique.
Oh,
I bet this
wasn't.
was Bob and
Well, I mean, this is actually for my friend who covers the Browns. She's just wondering about Mason Graham, if you've kept tabs on him.
Oh yeah, he was at the game on Saturday. I saw him at the game. It was his birthday yesterday, so wished him happy birthday. But yeah, he's been good.
I mean, his body composition's changed a little bit. Do
Yeah.
you see him still being as effective in that?
They play a different scheme than we do. So like what they want to do, they want to gap and attack and get up the field. So it's a little bit different for him. But he's a great player. He'll be fine. He'll be good wherever he goes.
Well, I wasn't going to ask you that, but I was put on the spot.
Can I just ask how Derek played for you on Saturday?
Derek played well. He was physical at the point of attack. Got a little banged up, but he played really well for us. I'm excited to watch him play this week. It'll be I think it'll be fun for us. And if you watch Derek, when Derek's going, everybody's going. It's really good. Yeah.